motherfuckers. My name is A.O. Storm, and it's time for another Etiquette For Aholes podcast. It's the podcast where we talk about a-holes. As you know, or maybe you don't know, we talk about the hashtag a-hole. If you want to complain that way on Twitter, you can also tweet us at E4A, the letter E, the number 4 a-holes. You know, send me a message on Facebook, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to get off your chest and complain about, that's what we're here for. We're a daily podcast for bitching, really, for better or for worse, for, you know, an outlet, or maybe something to talk about, somebody to commiserate with. You've heard the spiel, that's what we do. Find us on Twitter, you find the books on Amazon, Etiquette For Aholes, just search that, there's a bunch of books. And that's it. There's no ads, there's no sponsors. It's short, it's sweet. We're on Stitcher, we're on iTunes, we're on YouTube. I don't know, wherever you find podcasts, you'll find us. You're listening, so that means you already found it. Anyway, without further ado, what are we talking about today? Let's talk about marriage. Not like, actually, there is an Etiquette For Aholes book called An A-Hole Gets Married that talks very much about getting married and all the fun that comes with that, all the expensive fun you get to have when you get married. But today, as is true to the podcast, what we do is we're talking about marriage itself. You know, like, why? Why do people get married? Seems to be the frame of mind right now that's out there. Why should people just get divorced? All you see is people get divorced, and getting divorced is expensive, and the divorce rate is so high. Like, why do you even get divorced? Or why do you even get married? You're just going to get divorced anyway. Like, we'll just live together. We won't get married. Or, there's Tinder. Why would I get married? Tinder exists. I love fucking. Other people love fucking. What's going on? Tinder's out there. We'll just be one giant ball of fucking and sucking and nary a marriage certificate to be found. Which sounds a lot like the Romans. A little bit, if you ask me. I think they probably pioneered that well before Tinder existed. And that's a reason. Why would I get married? I don't want to get tied down. I'm not saying any of those reasons are wrong. You know, you can make a compelling argument for not getting married. And not everybody has to get married. There's no rules. There's no cookie cutter way to having a happy and fulfilled life. Getting married, getting kids, none of that. There's no rules. It's what you know about yourself and what it takes to make you happy is the short answer, but the tough answer when you're talking about being married, you can't. It's difficult for people to fully appreciate the benefits of marriage when you're from the outside, just reading articles on the Huffington Post and Slate and complaining, dismissing marriage. Who knows? So, I mean, let's look at it. So why would you get married? You know, what's the reason? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you this. Life is hard. And life is long. You know, in a good way. And those are both good things. Like, it's good to be challenged, and I would much rather live long as opposed to the alternative. But, you kind of, depending on how you are, I'm talking for me, and maybe it's wrong. You want that partner. You need somebody in your camp. When you go on a long journey, it can't all be hiking the Pacific Crest Trail by yourself and just getting high on life and sunsets. The life is best experienced with somebody else, you know? Somebody that's got your back 100% of the way. Somebody to celebrate when stuff's going well. Somebody to pick you up when things get dodgy. Somebody to pay, you know, and contribute. And raise kids and work together and spend time together. All of those things, it's what comes with having a spouse and somebody you're committed to, is knowing that that's there. And you can say, well, I don't need a piece of paper or whatever. That's part of having that commitment, is knowing, and really truly knowing that you have somebody working at it as hard as you are and is committed to being there through the ups and the downs. And so it sounds stupid. Well, why do I need a piece of paper? You kind of do need a piece of paper. It makes it more real. And you kind of do need lawyers to be expensive, because that forces you to maybe try it. Keep trying instead of just walking away. I mean, shit. If somebody bought you used Honda Accord for $5,000, you're probably not going to take nearly as good a care of it as if you had to work and save to buy it yourself. You know, you're going to beat the shit out of that. It's a rental car. If you're not married, it's the difference between buying a nice car or renting a car. You beat the shit out of a rental. I'm not saying you beat the shit out of somebody you're dating but not married, but there's a difference when there's yours more invested. And but anyway, getting off topic a little bit. So you want that partner in crime, and sex. Sex is fun. Making out's fun. Doing something with another person's fun. If the Germans have taught us anything, that there's any number of ways to find pleasure in weird and kinky ways. But you know, by yourself, with a group, I don't know. But as much as hey, come on, Tinder's awesome, and come on, you can have sex with a different person every night of the week. I think there's a lot of people just not having sex. But one of the cool things about being married is you've got somebody you're sleeping next to every night that also would like to have sex. So that's pretty cool. I'd put that in the pro column. Kids. Kids is another part of it. I mean, that comes from the sex, but whatever. I mean, raising kids, if that's for you, it's awesome. And it's much easier done with a partner. Anybody that has kids, you can, being a single parent, I tip my cap to anybody that's doing it alone. And it's possible, or so I'm told, but I can't imagine. That's impossibly hard. Raising kids is a team sport, and marriage creates a better environment to raise kids successfully without blowing your brains out. And shit, life's expensive, man, and there's so much cool stuff that you're going to want to buy or do or experience or travel or whatever. It's easier to do that when you got two people tossing money into the pot, provided you both work or whatever it is. That's a hell of a bonus to have somebody share in, you're working together, you're saving together, you're buying cool stuff that you both want to get together. It makes this life a lot easier and a lot more comfortable. But anyway, this one's already getting kind of windy. I mean, there's, as far as getting married and finding a partner, there's a bazillion books and podcasts and blogs talking about that, and the reason there's so many is because there is no answer. There's no right way. There's no right, this match of people is the best way to ensure a successful marriage. No, that's not true. And it's, people are puzzle pieces. People are jigsaw puzzle pieces, complete with innies and outies. And all that matters to have a successful marriage is finding a piece that's the right fit, that goes together perfectly. Now, when you dump out the puzzle pieces, you can have an outie and there's just as many innies to hook into, but they're not the right shape, they're not the right fit, that the picture doesn't match. I'm not saying there's one person for everybody, but I'm saying successful marriage is about, first of all, knowing yourself, knowing that you're an outie or an innie, and once you're fully aware of what you look like, the shape, everything about you, I'm carrying the puzzle piece analogy, but once you really know who you are, what do you like, what are you looking for in life, what are your strengths and your weaknesses, do you want to have kids, are you introverted, do you like to party, do you like to stay at home? Once you really know who you are and who you're comfortable being, because you're not going to be successful in anything without really knowing who you are, it makes life so much easier. Only then are you able to go then seek out your other puzzle piece, the corresponding puzzle piece, to match and be that perfect fit that is on the same page as you. If you want kids, don't marry somebody that doesn't want kids. That's not going to end well. Or if you are looking for somebody to travel the world with you and the other person hates airplanes and doesn't want to go outside of their town, but you don't have to have shared interests either. Maybe you're somebody that likes staying in and that's okay. And maybe you hate movie, maybe you hate a certain type of movie, I don't know, and you don't need to spend time with codependently with the other person a ton, but you're happy and you do your thing and they do theirs because you don't need it that way, and then you come together and you pull together in different ways. However it works, it's about being mutually beneficial. It matters as much that they fit you as it does that you fit them. But when they interlock and work well, this is ultimately the reason to get married. This is why you get married. It's not something you take lightly, but it raises the ceiling on the fulfillment you will get out of life. And that's really what this comes down to. You can be perfectly happy by yourself. You can be perfectly happy just dating, doing whatever you want to do, doing your own thing. But it narrows the highs and the lows of this life thing. Well, I'm not even speaking about the lows. The ceiling is that much higher when you are in a marriage that is a successful marriage. The highs are higher. And if you don't need your highs to be higher, then by all means, you don't have to get married. But know that that's the reason. Your life will be better. It will be more fulfilled. And it has the potential to be more fulfilled and more successful and more enriching if you can know yourself and find that matching puzzle piece. You don't have to, but I'm just telling you that's why you do it. It's a risk. It's not easy, and it is work, but it's worth it for the reward. And for anybody that wants to get married, know these things going in and give yourself the best shot at finding what you're looking for. Tomorrow we'll look for something else. This is A.O. Storm reminding you to be a good person.